Dear future grandchildren, this is your grandmother, Terica. One day as you walk through our communities, you will see signs, street signs, with your parents' names on them. I want you to understand something. Those signs didn't just show up. We fought for them. It was hard, and we had to be the first to pioneer. We had to be the first to go places we were never expected to go. There was not one door open, nor was there a handout. But God had already sent his angels before us, clearing the path so that anyone who comes after us would be able to stand just a little bit taller. You will never have to get it out the mud. You will be able to start where we finished. Your parents and you one day will stand on the shoulders of those who refuse to give up. So don't ever let anyone tell you what you cannot do. Keep that mindset that says, watch me. Roll up your sleeves and get it done, even when it feels impossible. And listen, since the beginning of time, there has always been haters. There has always been snakes, people who whisper, people who criticize, people who doubt, people who would try to pull you down. And even what's worse is family who don't want to see you win. They will outcast you and they will make you feel like you do not belong. But don't let that discourage you. If anything, take it as a sign that you're doing something right. With your head held high, I want you to dream as big as you possibly can and carry the strength of every generation that came before you. We love you, Grandma T. Hey, welcome to our ownership power class. Drop in the chat right now where you guys are coming from. I want to see who we have in this room. We have some pretty extraordinary people that join us for our teachings, and I just love to see where you guys are coming from. So I see Florida, Ohio. All right, Toronto. All right, California and Alabama. Where my Louisiana cousins at? Come on now, where y'all at in here? All right. First of all, I want to say welcome to the Ownership Power class. For those of you who's never attended an event like this, and maybe this is your first time ever learning virtually from someone that's online, my goal today, my objective today is to take you from being interested to an investor. Okay, like it's going to be a mindset shift. Somebody put mindset in the chat right now. There's going to have to be something that shifts within you today to be able to become an investor. So a few things I want for you guys to do for me. Take this link and share it with 2 to 3 people that you want to see win in real estate, that you want to possibly have as business partners. There's a book called Never Eat Alone. It's one of my favorite books in the entire world. And it just talks about bringing people along the journey. Now, I'm not talking about dragging nobody who don't want to change. I'm talking about somebody who's getting it out the mud just as yourself, and they would love to have a different stream of income. So take this link, share it out with 2 to 3 people, and comment done in the chat right now. Once you do that, when you share this link with 2 to 3 people, comment done. I love bring a friend. I have a surprise for you guys. For those of you who stay to the end of class today, I have a surprise that I'm going to be giving you guys, because I believe on the other side of obedience, there is reward, right? And so you want to look in this real estate journey, you have to be obedient, all right? Even during the hard stuff. I was telling someone today, actually my banker, I said, hey, I am still a student till this day. Like, I've never stopped learning, and I've been doing this, y'all, for almost 22 years. And one of the things that I've learned along the way within these 22 years is that I have to do it scared. Yeah, some of us are some chumps in here, but we're going to get rid of that today. Some things you're going to have to do scared. This is one of them. You're never going to feel at peace with something that you've never done before. It's almost like going ziplining for the very first time and not knowing, hey, am I going to fall off this line? Do they have everything secured? Like, you're really trusting a man that is in a foreign country that has these zip lines tied from one tree to the next. And you're trusting when you get on that line that it's going to hold you and bring you to the other side. But guess what happens? You do it scared. Somebody put do it scared in the chat. Sometimes you just have to do things scared. I didn't have all of the pieces in real estate when I first got started. It was not laid out for me A to Z. I'm talking to my A to Z people right now. I didn't have everything laid out. But what I did have that could not be taken from me was a mindset that was willing to do the hard things. So in this season, I'm going to do it scared, but I'm going to do it. I know that when I host this class, I usually take anywhere from 40 to 50 people with me along this journey. That means that I walk with you, I coach you, and I mentor you, and I help you get prepared for the tables that you're about to sit at. Everybody is not going to be allowed to come. That's just the way the math goes, right? But what I will tell you is by the end of this, I will be walking with 40 to 50 people. If that's you, put me in the chat. Now, I want for you guys to know, like, we have a conference coming up in June where I give away a house. Every year we've been doing this now for our 4th year. I just inked the ink on the paper with the house that we're giving away this year. By the grace of God, if it passed due diligence, it's going to be a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot house. Insane. You're winning a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, and I'm going to walk you through the renovations. And on top of that, guess what? It already have a tenant in there. So just being able to take a walk with me, you have the chance and opportunity to be entered to win this property. How many of you would love to win a property? Just put me in the chat right now. I've given away properties every single year, and this year it is going to be even crazier. I asked my team, I said, how big can we go this year? Like, I want to do something so retarded when people see it, they say, this just makes no sense. That's the type of stuff that I want to do. And by God's grace, I've been blessed to be in a position to be able to do this for you guys. So what does it mean to go from interested to an investor? Well, the first thing is this, right? When you're interested in something, you're kind of 50-50. When you're committed to something, you're all in, right? And so I give this analogy, right? I'm interested in working out. How many of us would just say, hey, I'm interested in working out, right? I would believe we're all interested in working out. But there's those who's walking around with 6-packs and muscle D arms and abs in their legs. They are committed, okay? They're drinking their protein powder. You know what I'm saying? They got the baby oil on this. They are committed to the cause, okay? When I look at them, I know I'm someone that's interested. And when I see them, they are committed. Let me give you guys another example. I hear people tell me all the time, Coach T, I want to join you on the 5-day property challenge, and I want to be able to be in your circle of investors. I want to invest with you. Like, I'm so interested in your teaching and your coaching. And I said, really? Well, all I have to do is say one thing, and based off of your response, it will tell me if you're the right person to walk with me and or not. Because I can't have interested people walking with me. I got to have committed people walking with me because I know the journey ahead. And when you get punched in the face, you got to get back up. When a door gets slammed in your face, you got to get back up. When they tell you no 100 different times, you got to get back up. And so for me, I've been very committed to this for the past 22 years. So anytime they closed the door in my face, I kicked it open. And I got tired of kicking to the point where I built my own door. So that's the difference from being interested and committed. So if you're interested, you're here listening. You're going to do absolutely nothing with what I'm sharing with you right now. Nothing. Okay. I'm going to give you how I would do it if I had $0. But because your mindset is so driven on A through Z, you're probably going to stay stuck, some of you. And then there's some of you that are committed to say, hey, I am tired of being stuck. I am tired of being a well-paid employee. I probably stepped on some people's toes, but that's okay, right? But let's talk about who this class is for. I want to get into it. This class is for you if you want to start investing in real estate, but you feel overwhelmed. Put me in the chat. This class is for you if you've been researching, but you still have not made a move yet. How many of you have done these classes over and over and over again? You still haven't invested yet, right? This class is for you if you want to build another stream of income. This class is for you if you need clarity. Put me in the chat if you need clarity, if you need strategy, if you need next steps. Put me in the chat. You see, what's funny about this is I'm paying attention to y'all. And no, I see your pen, but I don't see your writing. This is not a recording, baby. I'm in the room for real, okay? So one of the first assignments that I'm telling you guys is to start coming into agreement with what it is that you're wanting out of this, all right? So if you're interested, you're only here for a little while. But for those of you who's committed, you're already doing what we're talking about, okay? So this room is for you if you want the path that fits your real life. Everybody talk about real estate, fix and flips, multifamily, commercial, blah, blah, blah. Everybody talk about that. But how do you know what's the right fit for you? Real estate is not a one size fit all. And I'm going to talk more about that, right? This class is for you if you actually want a coach who has invested and scaled a multi-million-dollar portfolio. If that is why you in here, to learn from somebody who has went ahead of you and have paved the way, put me in the chat. So this is what most people get wrong when they start moving in this direction, right? You start moving, but then you become overloaded with things. You start listening to a lot of people. You start talking to a lot of people. They're not on this call with you. You probably don't need to be having that conversation with them unless it's your spouse or your financial advisor, if I'm being honest, right? I find that we always asking, no offense to the ones you love, but the people that never done nothing, we're always going to them, asking them what they think and what's their opinion, and giving us financial advice that they never even applied to their own self. And they always got something to say and they never done anything. Those are the people you're going to want to stay away from throughout your entire real estate journey, right? So you get that wrong, right? Another thing new investors, right, and I'm going to talk to my seasoned investors, but another thing new investors get wrong is you don't know the strategy for you. You have no clue what's the best strategy for you. You have an idea of what you want because of what you may have seen. Maybe HGTV told you house flipping is for you because you've seen them people walking and they looked at 3 houses and they chose the fix and flip. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you that it is not a one size fit all. Another thing is when you're learning from too many places, okay? So when I coach my circle of investors, when I'm mentoring through the 5-day property challenge, I'm saying, hey, I need for you to lock in with me and my team for 5 days straight. I am going to give you the meat and potatoes of all of this, but you have to be all in. I don't need you at YouTube University. Okay, YouTube University is only going to put out, it's not even YouTube University no more. Where is the Chat GPT people at, okay? Chat GPT cannot fact check itself. That means you got to know how to underwrite when you putting stuff in Chat GPT because you don't know if it's telling you the right or wrong answer. The next thing is most people are scared of making a mistake. If that's you, put me in the chat. I am scared, Coach T, of making a mistake. I do not want to get it wrong. You don't know how long I worked for my retirement and my savings. And Lord, I got to figure this out. I know I need to do more. It's okay. But this is what we get wrong in the beginning because this is everything that's going on. And this is everything that is inside of our head, right? And so you do not need to already be an expert. You do not need to already own property. You do not need to have everything figured out. This class is for people who are serious about learning what makes sense for them. Okay? So let's listen to this. As a new investor, write this down. You need clarity. You need someone to help you sort through the noise and understand what actually makes sense for your season, your finances, and your goals. Would you agree? Is that what you need? Just put yes in the chat. This is about my season. This is about what makes sense for me. This is about my finances. This is about my goals. This is not about such and such in the room. This is for me. I'm going to pretend right now that I'm the only one in the room and I'm getting everything downloaded to me, right? So for those of you who do not know me, put a 1 in the chat if this is your very first time ever hearing me speak and or teach. Put a 1 in the chat. Okay, we got some cousins in here, y'all. We got some new cousins in here. Okay, y'all probably like, oh my God, this woman is spicy. Do she even have receipts? Well, let's talk about that, right? So who is Terica Smith? First and foremost, I am a woman of God. You'll hear me talk about how I'm a kingdom-made millionaire over and over and over again. My work has allowed me to be invited to the White House. I own communities and place my children's names on street signs. I've been doing this for 22 years now. I have virtually taught over 8,000 students. I have owned, managed, and operated over 1,000 real estate transactions and property. I am the owner of the 5-Day Property Challenge. Somebody put 5 days in there. I am an abuse survivor and a foster care alumni. So what does that mean, right? I am somebody who survived every single brick that has been thrown at her. At 5 years old, from being sold to my mother drug dealer to becoming the kingdom-made millionaire I am today. And no, it did not happen overnight. I had to get through my story. I had to stop being a victim. And some of us have a story in here. Some of us have some trauma that we went through. And that is the trauma that's holding you back. You don't even know that it is messing with your tomorrow because you're still stuck in what took place in the past. I had one of the hardest things that I had to walk out. And y'all, I could not be here today if I did not forgive, if I did not give my life to God. And that's why I say I was not truly free and I was not a true kingdom-made millionaire until I was able to forgive everyone who abandoned me and who used me and who put me through all of the adversities that no child should ever have to go through. But again, my story means nothing to you because you're looking for the problem I can solve for you. The first problem I would like to solve is that, yes, it happened to you. Yes, they were monsters. No, it's not your fault. Yes, you were a victim. Now, today, you are a victor. You can come over your story. You can come out of hiding. You can come into your calling. You can walk into who you've been called to be. Don't let your story define you. Don't let that marriage define you. Don't let that friendship define you. Don't let that relationship define you. You can come out of hiding now and take your rightful place. Because as an investor, as a real estate investor, one of the first things you're going to need is confidence. And if somebody can tear you down because you're already getting torn down where you're at, then you're going to go right back to hiding. So let me just go ahead and remove that off of you right now. Somebody type their name in the chat and reintroduce yourself. Allow the people in this room to know that you are no longer a victim. And this day moving forward, I don't care what has happened to you, I will be a victor over my life. I have lost too many years sitting as a victim. I have lost too many years being scared. I am going to do what I need to do today, and I'm going to do it scared. And I'm going to do it with the people in this room. And if these people in the room is my new family, then hello, cousin, how you doing? You see, I had to become who I am today. Before I even had it in my hands, before I even physically touched it, I had to own me. I had to take my name back. Some of you are taking your name back this season. So let's keep going with the receipts, right? So when you look at this picture, this is me and David Shantz, the owner of Social Proof Podcast. He is one of the biggest reasons why I teach online today, because I honestly thought people honestly knew real estate, and I just didn't think, I thought what I knew was just simple, right? That was about 4 years ago. So I have not been on the internet teaching people long at all. I would be lying to you if I would say, oh, I knew I was going to be teaching webinars and I just knew that this was my path. No, I had no clue this was even a business that people needed. And to David Shantz, I walked him through a real estate transaction and we was able to close on a deal. And he said, Terica, you the real deal. I didn't know they had fake deals out there, to be honest with you. I thought everybody who said they was doing it was really doing it until I really got into this. I'm like, yo, these people are educating people on the internet and they're doing it wrong. What I will tell you is that this is not a get rich overnight. What I will tell you is that you're going to have to invest some years in this, just like I did, right? But what I will tell you is that this will outperform your earned income. What does that mean, Coach T? You're working like a Hebrew right now. Sun up to sundown. And on top of that, you got all your other stuff that you are obligated to do, whether you're a wife, whether you're in ministry, whatever it is, you got all of these other obligations, people pulling you all over. If I'm talking to you, just put me in the chat. But when I look at this, right, and I see me and David, we've come so far, we've changed so many people's lives, and tonight I want to change yours. Page Place Apartments, it's a 20-unit apartment complex. These are assets that I own. What's beautiful about it is people just like you, who I never knew, came and started walking with me, and somewhere along the line, they was able to have a seat at the table. I don't guarantee a seat at my table because, again, you can build your own table. But this is 20 units bringing in $180,000 a year. I look at the new construction developments. This is where we build new construction homes. I do it all. Builder, developer, real estate broker, investor. I do it all, right? My goal, just so you guys know, the size of my portfolio requires me to buy all of my verticals. What are my verticals, Coach T? What are your verticals, right? Well, if I got to pay somebody to come out and do something to my portfolio, I need to own that company. So my goal is I want to own the HVAC company. I want to own the plumbing company. I want to own the landscaping company. I want to own the painting company. I want to own the roofing company. I want to be the Home Depot of my portfolio. I don't want to have to go to Home Depot. I want to be Home Depot. You see how when you get in a room, people start talking different? You like, yo, I never even thought about being a Home Depot. I look at this 104 units, bringing in $800,000 a year. Somebody drop receipts in the chat. This right here was bought with my circle of investors. They decided to walk with me for 5 days and said, Coach T, we absolutely love what you're doing and we want to be a part of it. Not that we needed them, but I know as a new investor, you can't go get millions of dollars on your own without experience and or without a portfolio. So sometimes somebody drop leverage in the chat. You have to leverage the relationship that you have. So the investors that are invested in this with me, they can say now that me and my business partner, hello, Coach T, we own 104 units down in Louisiana. It's making about $800,000 gross a year. On top of that, my business partner has been doing this over 22 years. You see how they can leverage the experience now? You see, you thinking only what you can do. But when you get in a room with people that can make some things shake and make some deals happen, then you start seeing it a lot different. You see, I can go to the bank and get millions of dollars because I've been doing it long enough and they have seen that I can handle $1 million. But it wasn't too long ago that I had a 580 credit score and I bought my first property with my tax return at $5,000 and I invested it and I've scaled it to this. So sometimes you just got to start where you at. Somebody say, start where I'm at. That's what I did. I just started where I was. I was scared. I used my whole entire tax return. My light bill due, payday loans due, bills, bill collectors calling me. I'm not telling you to do what I did. I'm just saying I was committed. It had to work or it had to work. I had no other options. I didn't do a plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. I did a plan A. What happens if plan A don't work? It will. What you mean it will? It has to work or it has to work. So you're looking at almost $1 million a year just in 2 portfolios that I'm showing you guys right now. This new construction development is a $21 million mixed-use community. So when I say I do this in real life, I'm not trying to say this to brag, but you can Google my results, right? You can Google who your future coach is, right? If you want me to be it. You can Google me. I've been doing this way longer than I've been teaching on the internet. So I may not be the best teacher, right? But I can tell you I'm a dog on good investor. I'm a dog when it comes to investments, period. I eat, sleep bricks, okay? My children laugh at me. The internet can cancel you in any day, but the bricks won't. They will stand by you, okay? So when you looking at a portfolio like this don't even touch what we have. But I just wanted to show you what you can do together, what you can do by yourself. And look, I named those apartments Page Place. That is one of our friends that passed away. When you have ownership, you can start naming your investments. So you walk around on these streets. Do you know they were named by an investor? You look at these apartments. Do you know they were named by an investor? Everything has some sort of ownership tied to it. You just wasn't privileged to it. Somebody put good in the chat. If I'm cooking, put good in the chat. Let's talk about my students, right? This is one of them. Her name is Portia. I love Portia because she came through our 5-day property challenge, again, who I had no clue who she was, and she stayed. And she said, Coach T, I need to be in a circle of investors. Now, that same apartment building you see at the bottom is the same apartments that was on the other side. She came in on this investment. Let me tell you something. She didn't have millions of dollars, nor could she get a loan by herself. But this is why I love the book, Never Eat Alone, because you be able to create other opportunities for people that's attached to you. That's why you can't touch everything when what you touch turns to gold. So she said, I don't know why it's just hitting me today, but this makes 106 doors for us this year. Thank you again for exposing me to unlimited opportunity. Somebody say she cooking right now. This ain't no made up testimony. This is real people in real life that I have actually walked alongside of. So this is your social proof, right? This is how we walk. That house she owned that by herself. She learned how to underwrite through our mentorship program. She learned how to be able to evaluate the deals. She was talking more spicy than her real estate agent. How many of you would like to know more than the realtor you're talking to? Put me in the chat. She went through so many agents because they wasn't investor agents. We taught her how to be a assassin with that ink pen, how to be an assassin with her reps, right? So there's 3 decisions every new investor must make. You have to make a decision based on your readiness. You have to make a decision based on your strategy. You got to make a decision based off of your execution. What is your next move? Because what I believe is every time you say you're going to do something later, it steals from your now. So what does that mean, right? So let's just go to decision number 1. Are you ready? Right? Readiness is more than money. Some of y'all got money, but you don't necessarily need the money. I need to know, can your mindset get you there? Is your mindset open? What about consistency? Can you show up and do the work that we're talking about doing? What about your money habits? Can you get that under control? If you see that you have been a consumer and you've been consuming everything they've been putting out, can you do it? What about your credit awareness? What about your time capacity? What about your willingness to learn and act? So when I ask you, are you ready? What is your answer? You see, I was ready whether I had $5 or $1 million. I started with $5,000, but I was ready. Because up until that point, I knew for sure what my life would be if I kept on doing the exact same thing. We cannot continue to do the exact same thing expecting different results. Being ready does not always mean you have everything perfect. It means understanding your starting point clearly enough to make smart decisions. That's what your readiness means. Being ready does not mean always having everything perfect. It means understanding your starting point very clearly. Where do I start at? I just need to make a decision off of this. Where do I start at, right? So let's keep on going, right? What readiness actually looks like. You may be ready, more ready than you think if you're willing to learn in sequence. If you can be honest about your finances. If you're open to starting small. Now, this is a big one because everybody think you need $100,000, $50,000 to get started with real estate investing. What if you just start where you are? I'll start where I'm at, Coach T. You may be ready if you're willing to make a plan and follow it. You may be ready if you're committed to action and not just inspiration. You may be ready. Somebody say, I will make a decision. I will make a decision. I have to. You cannot keep promising yourself something and then robbing it from you later. We get so caught up in everybody else and everything we got to do for everyone else that we forget to make a decision for ourselves. So I understand that I have to be ready. And I may be ready if I can conquer these few things. Number 2, choose the right strategy. Not every real estate path is right for every person. Some of you may need house hacking. What is house hacking, Coach T? House hacking is, let's say, you can get a loan, a regular residential loan. Write this down, y'all, because you're not going to remember it, okay? You can get a residential loan for 1 to 4 units. That means it can have 4 doors inside of one building up under one roof, okay? What does that mean? You live in one, you rent out the other 3. One is going to pay the mortgage. The other one is going to be a reserve for maintenance and vacancy. And the last one is going to be, somebody drop cash flow in the chat. It'll be your cash flow. You see, we got to get in the habit, and I'm going to talk more about this, but we got to get in the habit of buying more income this year. So when you house hack, you can go get a $100,000 loan. And if you buy it in a rural area, you don't have to put any money down. It's 100% financing. What? Am I cooking? Just let me know if I'm cooking right now for you guys, right? You also can get that loan with 3.5% down through FHA program. 3.5%. So if it's 100,000, you're putting down 3,500. Wait, what? I can get into this with 3,500? Yes, and get the seller to pay your closing costs. Absolutely. Am I making this like real for you guys? Like, are you saying, wow, this is a lot simpler than what people been making it? Buy and hold, right? Some of you may need to be in a buy and hold. What is that, Coach C? What is a buy and hold? A buy and hold is a strategy where you buy a property to rent it out to someone and you hold on to it so it can give you monthly cash flow. Now, I hear people all the time saying, don't go buy a single family property. Shoot, I started with one. You could never tell me not to do what I did because my start did not look like their start. I didn't have no parents giving me no inheritance. I didn't have nobody to give me a handout. So if I had $5,000, I had to make that $5,000 shake. That's it. It was my strategy. That's where I was in my season, right? So then you got partnerships. You can come into partnerships, creative financing. What is creative financing? That's where we can help you get the owner to be your bank. So let's say your credit is not where you want it to be, and maybe you need creative financing. Well, we show you guys how to be able to do it, and we actually dive deeper in the 5-day property challenge on how we actually do that, right? So then you have wholesaling, and wholesaling is a very lucrative way to get started with real estate. Well, what is wholesaling, Coach T? Again, I'm going over it briefly, but this is what we do in the 5-day challenge. We break down these strategies, right? So wholesaling is very simple. Let's say I have a property and I need to sell it and I just want $50,000, okay? And let's just say my cousin, who's a wholesaler, which means he know investors, says, hey, I like this property. It's worth $150,000. So he signs a contract with me for $50,000. He turns around, he finds an end buyer and tell the end buyer that it's $70,000. How much did that wholesaler make in between there? If he's getting it from the seller at 50 and he's selling it to the buyer at 70, how much is he making? $20,000. You can sell contracts? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can do it through a double closing and or an assignment. Again, that's more of the 5-day challenge talk, but absolutely. So then the end buyer, because they have been mentored by us, they say, well, let me see if this meets the 70% rule. The 70% rule says that I only can be into this deal with renovations and acquisitions for 70%. Anything over 70% is not good. So what does that mean? Well, if the property is worth $150,000, the most that I could pay for this property as an end buyer is $105,000. But how much is the end buyer getting the property at? Put it in the chat. I just told you guys. How much is the end buyer getting the property at? Oh, you lost. $70,000. Let's go. Let's go, Lucy. Let's go. $70,000. Because I said the seller wanted $50,000. I'm selling it to the end buyer for $70,000. I'm going to make my $20,000 in between now. The end buyer, their value is $150,000 after they finish fixing it up. So as long as they don't exceed $105,000, they are good because the repairs and renovation got to fit in there. So let's just say the end buyer buys it at $70,000. He puts $30,000 to renovate it. Is he still up under the 70% rule? You add the $70,000 plus the $30,000. Again, this is more of the 5-day challenge, but I felt like I just wanted to share this nugget. Yes, absolutely. Because 70 plus 30,000 is 100,000. I said as long as he remained under 105,000, this deal passes the 70% rule. So good, right? So now the end buyer, because he got it at the 70% rule and it's so good, guess what he does? He come on the market for how much? He come on the market for how much? Break it down for me in the chat for me. He come on the market, yes, 150,000. All right, y'all better come through. So if he's coming on the market with if he's coming on the market for 150,000, he sell the property at 150,000. Guess what happens? He got to pay off how much? 100, because he got 70 for the sales price and 30 for the renovations. So all that money got to be paid back. What is the end buyer profit if he's into it for 100,000 and he's selling it at 150,000? $50,000. Now, of course, it got closing costs and things like that. We'll dive deeper into that, guys, on the 5-day property challenge. But that's just a scenario to say, hey, I just want you to take this seed. Forget the numbers. Take this seed, okay? Take this seed. I can sell a contract and not have no money in the deal. Can you just take that seed? Somebody say, I'm taking it, Coach T, and I'm planting it. I'm going to have to water that, and I know I'm going to need some water to be able to pour on that, but I'm going to plant that seed. That's just a little nugget right there. So choosing the right strategy is extremely important, but there's one of 3 people that's on this call, and this is, can you put my slide on the right one for me, please? So this is going to tell me which path fits you the best, okay? So example number 1 is going to be, this is you, just put 1, 2, or 3, whichever one is for you, right? You have limited savings, high financial responsibility. You may be a great candidate for house hacking, partnerships, or creative entity strategies, okay? Limited savings, high financial responsibility. House hacking, partnerships, creative entity strategy. So what does that mean? That might be you. Number 2, you have stable income, overwhelmed, afraid to choose wrong. You may be a great candidate for buy and hold with a clear acquisition plan and a coach. If you feel like number 2 is you, put number 2. Number 3, you're motivated but low confidence and no structure. The potential fit for you is going to be your foundational education. your strategy, your exit plan, accountability. How many of you can use accountability on this call? Put me in the chat. Some of us can use that accountability. So we're going to fall somewhere up under example 1, example 2, and example 3. One of these paths are going to fit you. But that's the beautiful thing. We're not all in the same position in this room. Some of us are in different positions. Some of us have different roadblocks than others. But what I love is that it's room for everyone. There's room for everyone. So during the 5-day challenge, what I break down is there's launchers, builders, and titans, right? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in a little while, but a launcher is someone who owns 0 to 4 doors. 0 to 4 doors, okay? That means that you're just getting started, okay? Some of you are launchers in this room. You're looking to get your first door, and or you probably own up to 4. If that is you, put launcher in the chat. Then I have my builders, okay? My builders in the room, you own between 5 to 20 properties, and you're looking to break that ceiling that's keeping you where you're at. You're trying to get to that 100 doors, but it seemed like you've reached your capacity and you don't know what to do next, right? Those are my builders that's in this room. And then I got my titans. Let me tell you something. Launchers are my favorite. Sometimes. Launchers, I have to convince you that investing should be done. With builders and titans, I do not have to convince because they already investing. But launchers, the reason why I love you guys a lot is because of the simple fact, all you got to do is get out your way and just say yes. Titans, you think you know it all. You think you got it all figured out. But you can't get over that 100 doors because you need some capital. You need millions of dollars of capital because you're probably trying to scale to a $10 million portfolio and are all the way up to $100 million. That's probably where you're at in our bucket, right? So what I would tell you, Titans, is that you have to get out your own way as well. You have to get out your own way. So launchers, look, you should be an investor, whether you become an investor today and or whenever you decide, you have to become an investor. Builders, you have to break the ceiling. Titans, you got to get access to capital. That's just where you're at, right? You need millions of it at this point for it to make sense for you. But that's why we have room for everybody that's in here. But one of the things I would tell you that does not fit well with this path is that and I want to, let me just pause right here, right? One of the things that don't fit well with the path is fear. I will aggravate you if you come around me because I have faith. I believe I can do the impossible. I believe I can see the invisible because I have faith. That's the truth. If you get aggravated by that type of personality, I'm probably going to be a thorn in your side because I have not had an assignment, not a God assignment, that I have not been able to do. That is just what it is. So then we come to decision number 3. What is your next move? What is your next move, right? So drop in the chat my next move. What is my next move, right? Your next move is not to learn everything. It's not. Define your investing goals. Yes. Choose one strategy to study. Yes. Why would you try to study multifamily and fix and flips and wholesaling all at the same time? That's a lot. Is that not a lot? That's a lot. Pick one. Learn the market. Join the 5-day challenge. Get in the room with support and structure. That's your next decision, right? This is where you decide, okay, I understand my readiness. I understand that part. I understand the strategy. But my decision, my execution, now that relies on me. That relies on me. So when I'm about to execute, I told you guys, fear will be your enemy. Fear will be your natural enemy when you're about to execute. Why? Right? Because fear wants you to stay stuck. The people who move forward is not the ones who know everything. They are the people who know what to do next. Would you agree? Put yes in the chat. So what does that mean? Fear leaves no room for strategy. I can't help you strategize if you got fear inside of you. You have to do it scared, but you have to have a strategy. So if I had $0, and this is where I want for you to pay close attention, because how many of you would say, I don't have enough money, put me in the chat. How many of you would say, I need more information, put me in the chat. I don't know what lane to pick, Coach T, just put me in the chat. So fear leaves no room for strategy, and we know that. So if I had $0, this is what Coach T would do. Can I show you guys what I'll do if I had $0? Can I talk spicy to you guys for the next 20 minutes on if I had $0? Because some of you in here, you just need this seed planted. This is all you need, okay? So if I had $0, the first thing I would do is buy this rectangle. Hold on. Can you fix them for me, please? I would buy this mobile home, okay? If I had $0, I would buy this mobile home. And then what I would do is I would look for free mobile homes on social media that needs light work. Somebody put light work in the chat and sign the bill of sale with the owner. Now, you do know you can get mobile homes for free. You may have to pay to move them, but you get to find them. They're on Facebook right now in Marketplace. You too busy and everybody else's business on Facebook. Let's turn that scroll time into dollar time. Okay? So I would go on Facebook Marketplace and I would just scroll mobile homes in the area. And I would look for the ones that are free. Or maybe you say I want to spend $1,000 on it. It's whatever you want to do. But if I had $0, I'm looking for something that's free. Will we all agree? Put yes in the chat. Will we all agree? Now, y'all, I enhanced this mobile home. I added some lights to it and everything, okay? This may be ugly to some of y'all, but let me tell you something, baby. These are cash cows, okay? I own several mobile home parks, and when I tell you they cash flow, they cash flow. So don't turn your nose up at somebody else's housing standards. You're not buying it for you to live there. You're buying it so you can buy income. These are some cash cows right here. In Georgia, they charge $600 to $700 just to put your trailer on the dirt. Here in Louisiana, we charge $250 to $300 in some areas. Some areas charging $400. So when I see these, I see cash flow. I see an investment opportunity. So you can't turn your nose up if you don't got no money anyway. If you say you got $0 and you got to get it out the mud, what you turning your nose up for? You got to do it anyway. You have nothing to lose. You had $0. That's Coach T being real spicy, but I love you guys, okay? I promise. I'm saying this with love, not condemnation. I'm saying it with a lot of love, I promise. Y'all probably like, this is a spicy coach, and I am. So then what would I do next, right? Once I get this mobile home, I find it for free on Facebook, I would invest $8,000. Now, where would I get this $8,000 from, right? Where would I get this $8,000? I would find a partner, someone to JV with, meaning I'm bringing a deal, you bring the money. How many of you on here just would say, shoot, I got $8,000. If I have a deal, look at it. I spoke at an event and I said, hey, I want to invest with someone in the room right now who's working on 50 units or more. And depending on the numbers, I would like to invest $1 million. You know how many people came up out of 5,000 people? 2 to 3. And they still didn't have the actual 50 units. What does that mean? Create an opportunity anytime you get, any chance you get to get in a room. Create an opportunity. So I would find somebody in here, drop in the chat right now if you got $8,000, put me in the chat. I have $8,000. And put me in the chat if you can find a deal. There's a lot of money in this room. There's a lot of money. Some of you, in your phone log, you got nothing but liabilities on your roster. All they do is take from you. Every time they call you, they need something. And then there's some of you, you don't even have a call log. You need to be in a room like this. Let this be the last year you don't have $8,000. Like, let's just be honest. Let this be the last year, okay? So I would partner with someone and do what's called the JV deal, which is a joint venture deal. What is a joint venture deal? That means that I am bringing this venture, this mobile home venture to them. We're going to partner on it 50-50. Their capital contribution is $8,000. My capital contribution is the actual mobile home itself. We're going to partner together. We're going to take this mobile home. We're going to move it off the property and move it into a mobile home park that allows for it. So the upfront cost to move and set up the trailer on a new lot may be around $4,000. The rehab the trailer, let's just say $3,000. And let's say you put $1,000 in reserve. The total is $8,000. Say you cooking, Coach T. So if I understand that I'm into this for $8,000 and I have a partner, what is going to be my exit plan? Brittany, check on that for me on your phone. What is going to be my exit plan? Oh, I love it. I'm a rent to own that sucker. Somebody put RTO in the chat. RTO. The transfer of wealth is from the impatient to the patient. Some of you got a lot of instant gratification spirits on you. I got delayed gratification because I'd rather endure now so I can live how I want later. So while everybody else was out there buying bottles and popping all this other stuff, I was in the office till 9 and 10 o'clock at night underwriting deals. The last one out the office, the first one in the office. Now I look at them and they still in their same circumstance and their same conditions. I would take this investment and do a RTO, a rent to own on it. It's such a spicy deal. So once I do that, I'll place it on the market, rent to own the trailer for 24 months. I'm going to find a buyer. You see, you may say, well, what kind of buyer wants to live in a mobile home, Coach T? Why would they want to buy this? Well, number one, they probably already got denied by a lender. Maybe their credit score is not where it needs to be. Maybe they living in an apartment and they just need something bigger. But ownership is for anyone who desires it. So what I'll do is I'll find a buyer. I'll make them put $5,000 down. If I'm cooking, just put cooking in the chat right now. I will make them put $5,000 down and they will pay me $850 a month rent to own. Guess what happens? I get no maintenance calls. What? Look at every last one of these trailers. It is a check. It is some income. Every last trailer you can see and count. Could you imagine owning the dirt and getting paid from every single rooftop that you see? Oh, welcome to real estate investing. That one looked at a little funny, but when you see 50 of them stacked up like that, do the math. You have 50 of these and they paying you $850 a month each. You do it 50 times. $850. And no maintenance calls. Most people like, I just don't want to get into property management because, oh my gosh, Coach T, they're just going to call me all hours of the night. And they do. That's why you need a property management company, because they do. But with this, you're doing an RTO. They rent to own it. They're responsible for all of that. So what is that math? Drop it in the chat. Pull out them calculators. I want this to be real to you right now. $850 times 50 of them boys. $42,500 a month. Not a year. Some of you don't even make that right now. Now, do you see how important it is to start buying income? Now, do you see how important it is to start investing? When should you invest? Yesterday. You see, you cannot out-earn the problem, but you can invest it. But this has to stop, that we rely on the physical labor, the physical hard work with our own hands. We are relying on every single day. This is a true story, right? My son's father-in-law, he was well one day. The next day, he had a tumor. Thank God he set his family up before that came. So you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. So you got to get from the mindset of I am physically doing this with my hands until I am buying income and I don't need my hands anymore. So when COVID come around, you're not affected. When COVID come around, they trying to make you take an injection or you lose your job. You're no longer affected by that because you have created options for you and your family. So when I look at these rooftops and I start counting and I start saying, yo, if I find 50 mobile homes that's free and I bring in, let's just say I bring in 5, 10 different partners that want to run this play with me. I'm not greedy. I don't mind splitting it down the middle because I started at 0. I started at 0. There's so much I want to teach you guys in this hour because I'm so passionate about how real estate took me from being homeless up under a bridge with my son to a kingdom-made millionaire. I did not start here. I had no family support. I had no friend support. Now I got a lot of friends and support, but I started by Terica Smith herself. I had to do this journey alone. I had to do it scared. Me and God. God, you got me bad. All right. I failed the real estate exam 7 times. I didn't know anything about real estate. Heck, I thought the buildings was real estate. I didn't even know it was the dirt. So sometimes you may not feel like you as educated as you need to be. I was the dumbest one sitting in the classroom, but not no more. I go to the bank more than the people that sat in the classroom with me. So I want to encourage you guys, and I'm going to keep breaking this deal down, that you don't need A to Z. You just need a start. Somebody say, I just need a start. So then what happens? Mailbox money. How many of you like mailbox money or will love mailbox money? Income generated. 24 months times 850 is $20,400 off this one deal. The down payment was $5,000. So the total collected was $25,400. But for 2 years, $850 is coming to you a month. Now, again, the content that is shared is potential earnings and success stories. This is for example purposes only. I'm not guaranteeing you any outcome. That is going to be based off of your experience, your skill set, and your dedication. There's nothing never guaranteed in life other than our skin color and going to heaven. That's what we're going to be, right? So let's keep on going. If I'm cooking, put cooking in the chat. So then it's payday. The 2 years have come. Now, one of the things I did not mention, and I may mention it a little bit later, or I'll just mention it here. If you got good credit, leverage your credit. Get an $8,000 credit card or $10,000 or $15,000. Like, you get what I'm saying? Use the down payment to pay down the credit card. Do that make sense? Like, you don't have to go out and get a JV partner, but if you do not have credit, then you need a JV partner. If you have strong credit, you can do it yourself. So then it's payday. So the initial partnership investment was $8,000. Thank you, my friend. Lot rent is $250 times 24 months. That's $6,000. The total expenses on the asset was $14,000. I take the $25,400 minus $14,000. That's $11,400. $11,400 minus miscellaneous. I did a 10% contingency, which is $1,140. Maybe utilities, lawn care, etc. Net profit. Net profit. $10,260. This is a potential. What if you went on Facebook and started this today? Could you use this? Could you use this? I could. Why not? $10,260. So you split it 50-50. You give your partner 50%, you keep 50%. And then you do it again. Somebody put repeat in the chat. Repeat. You see, what I love about this is, and I'm going to keep on going for time, but what I love about this, guys, is that I teach you guys, and my team come on and teach you how to be able to do the credit card plate. Because there's a strategy that you have to be able to use to be able to do it. You can't just go and, like there's a whole entire strategy behind it. So then I'm like, okay, well, this was a really good payday and this was really cool. But how many of you may say, I don't want to do mobile homes, Coach T. What if I told you you can start bidding for properties for as little as $1? Would you believe me? Am I like blowing your mind right now? Like, I want to know that you guys feel like this is really like where I need it to be, Coach T. So then it gets better because you can go to auction.com. Wait. You can start a bid at $100 in Chicago, Illinois. Is there anybody in Chicago here? Anybody in the proximity here? Am I talking to you today? I don't know who you are. I don't know where you from, but I'm talking to some people in here today. They got some deals in Illinois that is waiting for you. They got some deals in your state that is waiting for you. They got a current bid that closes in 2 days. Right now, that property is at $10,100. Somebody say, Coach T cooking. You may say, why am I giving all of this information? Because I can give you all of this information, but if you apply it wrong, it just delays you. It just delays you. $400, the current bid on another Chicago property? What? This is wild, right? Is there other states? Yes, all over. Yes, all over. So another thing that I use is we have a partnership with PropStream. And for some of y'all who's going to join the 5-day property challenge with us, you'll get access to be able to find abandoned property owners. So that way you don't even have to go and do all the extra. You just type in the address and you pull up the information that you need. How many of you would like a resource tool like that? Put me in the chat. A tool like that would be very beneficial to you. So this is where it gets serious at, right? Some of you are so smart that you stay stuck. What keeps smart people stuck? You see right here, this is my business partner. His name is Derek Godot. He's a real human. This is not an AI Derek. This is Derek. And when I met Derek, he had a fire job. Okay, first of all, he's a very smart, educated man. He's my best friend in the whole world, and he's extremely smart. Okay, like extremely smart. I asked him some weird questions. Like, I got a new question. I want to know how long is a buckhorn? I don't know why I want to know that, but I just feel like I want to know how I ask those type of questions, right? And he's a man that has a ton of information. And so when we first met, he was my client, right? He was paying, like, we had deals where he had to pay me like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 of his deals. Y'all, I charge that in an hour. I'll charge more for an entire day because I know my value. I know that I can turn $1 to $1,000 if you come and walk with me. I'll give you what you need to be able to convert. So when I was talking with him, And he was telling me that he's been looking to get into real estate. And I was telling him that he can be able to buy a property, put the money in, when we go to refi, pull it all out. And then he say, okay, but how is it gonna, like, that don't make sense to me. Like, help it make sense. Like, I'm gonna get this property for free. I said, yes, when we finish everything. And guess what happened? He took his MBA. How many of you got MBAs on here? Put me in the chat. All my smart people, okay? We love y'all. We need y'all in this world, okay? We need you in this society. We need you in our community. Oh, there's a lot of MBAs on here. Okay. He put the MBA college degree to the side because they didn't teach this in school. Am I right or wrong? They did not teach this to him in school. So he didn't come with his MBA and bully the coach. He came with his MBA and said it's going to sit to the side right now. We call him Mr. Excel. I don't know nobody that can touch him with Excel sheets. I still use pen and paper. 1 + 1 = 2. He got F1 plus 5F or whatever equals something type of formula in Excel. So we started doing deal after deal after deal. Now, he didn't know I was paying attention to him, but he had an anointing on his life that I knew that I wanted to be in business with. And at the time, I did not know what business it was going to be, but I knew we had to do something together because there was too much talent sitting in this man that's sitting behind a desk. So once we start making money together, and y'all, yes, I was charging him that much money because I am worth that much money. And I made him that much money, right? But listen to this. This is the kicker, right? He never complained about what he invested for my mentorship with him, because he already invested in an MBA that did not even teach him this. So now imagine how dangerous he is. And he spent way more on the MBA than he did with me, just so we clear. Imagine how dangerous he is with his MBA and Mr. Excel and the business mindset that he has. It's fire. You see, some of y'all been feeling stuck, but this is why. Because there's an execution gap. It's too much information. There's no order. You got the fear of doing it wrong. You don't have no accountability. You don't have a trusted guide. You're trying to figure it all out alone, and you have a corporate mindset. How many of you would say, Coach T, I got a corporate mindset? That is me. I've been working for the corporation for too long, and they have programmed me to be one of their robots. But today be the last day that I be their robot. Today be the last day that I be an asset up under their column, because they'll never pay you enough to live on side of the owner of that. So you got to become the owner of something yourself. So if you thinking that you are that very, very important person in their business, I'm telling you, with the stroke of a hand, they can take it from you. Period. So we're not going to be stuck no more. All my smart people, just say, I'm not stuck no more. I am not stuck. I'm going to do it scared, and I am not stuck. Because what I believe is this: you don't need a bag. You need a blueprint. Everybody talking about, oh, I got to get the bag. I got to get the bag. No, you need a blueprint, my friend. Okay, because you've been getting the bag and you haven't been buying income with your bag. So you need some type of strategy. You need to have some type of readiness. You got to have some type of execution right now on the inside of you to help you get a bag and keep a bag. The problem is not us getting a bag. I just want to be very clear. Imagine how much money has went through your hands throughout your lifetime. Put it in the chat how much you think has went through your hands throughout this lifetime. I'm talking all the years you've worked. I'm talking all the money you have spent. I'm talking all of it. So we would agree that it's not a bag issue. We would agree. It's a blueprint issue. Somebody said, I need the blueprint, Coach T. I need the blueprint. So let me show you this. This is me and my beautiful daughter. This is Ataya. She started when she was 15 years old. She has about 28 investment properties, mobile home parks and doors and things like that mixed up together. Lots and stuff in that as well. But she started at 15 years old. Now I walk side by side with her at 21. Today she looked at me and said, Mama, I got 4 closings this week or 3 closings this week. It's an insane number. She's probably going to make about 40 grand this week. Somebody say blueprint. Generational wealth is not the money. It's the knowledge, because I don't even know what this girl got going on. She don't have mama giving her a handout. She had mama give her the blueprint. So because I gave her the blueprint, she's able to walk on her own and stand in her own rooms and do her own thing. So the blueprint is simple. How to go from vision to blueprint, turning real estate dreams into practical steps. One plan at a time that you can actually build on. The second part of the blueprint is how to focus on the deals, decisions, and disciplines that actually build equity so you stop grinding in circles and start gaining ground. Somebody take territory in the chat. This is my blueprint to take territory this year. This is my blueprint to have ownership this year. This is my blueprint to start taking ground. I'm coming back with the enemy's head. I'm tired of Goliath playing in my face. What is your Goliath that's been tormenting you for the past 40 days? Some of you the past 40 years. What is that Goliath in your life? Do you know how small finances are to our Father? And you sitting up here worried and stressed about finances? Do you know how small a property is to our Father? And you sitting up here worrying about, do you understand how small your problems are? You're coming back with the head of the giant. We're not about to get tormented and keep on going through this. Generational knowledge. If I close my eyes today, can my children pick up the baton? If I close my eyes today, are they standing on our shoulders? If I close my eyes today, do they have the blueprint? Do your children have the blueprint? Do your family have the blueprint? Are the successors lined up, ready to move forward? I can tell you who is: the Rockefellers, the Buffetts, the Bezos, the Musk. They lined up. Literally. It's time for us to get serious about our ownership. And how do we do that, guys? I want to break it down as simple as I can. Buildings over bills. My first property was enough to pay my light bill. It wasn't enough to get me rich overnight, but it was enough to do what I needed. So if I can focus on buildings over bills, every property I get, I needed to cover something. What bill do you want covered right now? Drop it in the chat. You see, clarity is so powerful. Knowing that you need buildings over bills, understanding that. But without the support, without the mentorship, without coaching, it turns into confusion. That is why so many people stay stuck. That is why so many people stay stuck. So if I'm focused on buildings over bills, and y'all, we're doing it the right way. We're going to replace a bill at the time. Some of you may be able to replace 2 or 3 bills, but the goal is to retire yourself. The goal is not for you to put in 70 years to a company and pray that you make it and then retire. The goal is for you to retire yourself. How many of you would like that type of control? Just put me in the chat. I would like to retire myself. Thank you. I would like to have control over myself. Thank you. I would like to make my own decisions. Thank you. This is when my business partner, Derek, became unemployable. I'll never forget this moment. This is when he became legally unemployable. When is your moment going to come for you to become unemployable? His moment was when I called him out the blue and said, hey, we're going to Hawaii. Me and my husband, and I want y'all to come. I want you and your wife to come. And he said, well, we got to see if we can get the time off. Y'all, I'm not a corporate person, so I didn't even know what that meant. So me not knowing, I said, you got to ask permission to take off work to go be with your wife? We adults here. Why are our jobs still treating us like children? Oh, I know why. Because we don't have enough buildings over bills yet. But that's okay. We will be having buildings over bills this year. Somebody put this year in the chat. This year. And you know what happens when you start racking up buildings over all your bills? Can I show you guys what happened when you do that? Put yes in the chat. If I can show you what happened when you start raking up buildings over bills. This is what happens. This is what freedom looks like. This is me and my son looking up at his name on his street sign. Working for someone else's dream would never bring you freedom, no matter how much they pay you. If they control your time, your income, and your potential, it's not freedom. Ownership is where real freedom begins. It's about breaking generational ceilings and building something that lasts. Ownership means my children will never start where I started. They'll start where I finished. It means the ceiling I had to fight through and break through become the floors that they stand on. Because real estate isn't just an investment, y'all. It's a legacy. And a legacy is the truest form of freedom. My children don't have to knock on nobody's doors. They don't have to ask a seat at nobody's table. I don't know what your why is going to be when you start this journey, but for me, it was looking at him and coming to this full circle moment and realizing, son, we're not homeless up under this bridge no more. I made him a promise up under that bridge. I said, son, as long as I have air in my lungs, you will never experience homelessness again. As long as I have air in my lungs, you would never experience homelessness again. Up until that point, I was a victim. But it was at that point that I had to decide how long must I remain a victim. Because being a victim won't get you here. It won't get you here. So I had to release some baggage. I had to release some things that was holding me down. I had to break some generational curses. It ended when it ran into me. How many cycles are about to end because it's running into you? How many cycles are about to end because you are on this class tonight and you saying the cycle ends with me? How many of you about to break a cycle? I'm not just here for information. I'm here to create a legacy. I'm here to get the resources and the tools I need. Can you imagine what I've taught you in this 1 hour? What I would do if we did 5 days? Could you imagine what that would look like? Well, let me show you. Because a lot of you, and I said it from the beginning, there's only going to be about 40 to 50 of you that's going to take this journey and walk. Because you understand how important your education is and what you need right now. There's no convincing here. The only thing you should ask yourself is, does this solve a problem that I have? Am I solving a problem right now of what I have? I have to. I have to solve it. I have to break it up. I have to end the cycle. So this is what it is. Let me and my team walk with you, not in front of you, not behind you, but on side of you. Now, what I will tell you guys is this. Every year, I host a 5-day property challenge, right? And you're like, yo, what is my next step? I need more of this. I need more information. I need more time, right? That's why I created the 5 days, so we can walk day after day after day after day after day with each other. But this challenge is not for the weak. This challenge is not for those who are interested. This challenge is for those that's committed. This challenge is my last time doing it this year. And when I tell you guys, I stand on my word. June 8th through the 12th, I will be hosting my 5-day property challenge. And I am looking for those who are committed to accept the challenge. This is the first road to being able to walk with me and for me to get to know you. Because one thing for sure is I don't invest with everybody. In order to be a part of my circle, you got to go through some things. It didn't come easy for me. None of us is taking an elevator there. It's the stairs. It's the stairs. So if you got bad knees, go ahead and lay your hands on your knees and anoint them knees, because we're taking the stairs. We ain't taking no elevator. The reason why is because you're going to appreciate it a lot more whenever you get off this 5-day challenge and you can go do your own thing. You'll appreciate it a lot more. So June 8th through the 12th, I am going to be teaching a few different things. On day one, it is the mindset of a real estate investor, the mindset of the decision making, the habits of a real estate investor. If you need this, put me in the chat, right? The structure your real estate business need for protection and clarity and growth, right? We help you create a roadmap that is based according to your goals and your starting point. How many of you would say, Coach T, I need a roadmap? Just put me in the chat. I need a roadmap. By the end of day one, you'll have the mindset and the foundation to move forward with confidence as an investor. On day two, we're doing what's called OPM, other people money, and we're going to underwrite as well, right? So we're going to learn the money and the deal approval process. You'll learn how to use OPM and underwrite deals the same way that the professionals and the lenders do. You're going to understand how OPM works through partners, private money, and leverage. If you need that, put me in the chat. You're going to underwrite a deal by checking numbers, risk, and exit strategies. If you want that, put me in the chat. You're going to spot deal breakers, red flags early on so you don't waste your time and our money. By the end of day two, you'll know how to evaluate deals and position them for funding without using your own cash. If you say, Coach T, I need that, just put me in the chat. Day two is a very powerful day. You see, what I did, guys, was I wrote a workbook that you guys will get when you sign up as a titanium ticket holder. You'll get this workbook, this digital workbook that you will print out. And day by day, you're going to have homework assignments, you're going to have execution items, and you're going to have accountability. This 5-day challenge, every single day, you got to upload your homework and confirm that you've done it. I'm not playing. If you're going to accept the challenge, we're going to do it the right way. On day 3, can we go to day 3, please? Well, let me say this. I want to give you this tool too, so I'm happy it went there, right? This is a calculator that we use to analyze deals. My business partner, Derek, built this tool. We're not Googling these things for you guys. We're building them. This is how we underwrite deals. So you get the deal analyzer calculator. If you would like a calculator, the deal analyzer calculator, put me in the chat. You get to use our own calculator to be able to break these deals down, right? Then on day 3, guess what happens? Mastering the real estate formulas. Whew. How many of you, if you don't know what none of this mean, okay, if you don't know what none of this mean, I want you to find the fire and drop it in the chat, okay? Find the fire and drop it in the chat. If you want to learn COC, if you want to learn the 70%, if you want to learn the 1%, if you want to learn the ROI, if you want to learn the NOI, if you want to learn CMAs, I'm talking to some people in this room right now, and you're like, I have no clue, Coach T, what you're talking about, but I need to learn these things, and I really want to be able to understand it. We're going to show you how to use key formulas to estimate cash flow, profit, and deal potential. You're going to calculate a smart offer price without having to guess on deals and overpaying for it. You're going to quickly confirm if a deal meets your criteria or not. How many of you want to learn the 50 times rule? How many of you want to learn the 333 rule? How many of you want to learn the internal rate of return, the IRR? How many, you might say me, but I'm telling you now, that's going to bust your head open. Okay. We may need to do that in the circle of investors because that's a whole nother arena. How many of you would love to learn how to set up waterfalls? How many of you would love to learn how to set up partnerships? How many of you would love to learn how to set up entities? Yeah. So on day 3, we go very hard in that, right? So then on day 4, you also get the project costing guide, which is also really cool because how many of you ever said, man, I wonder how much this would cost? Well, this is a cheat sheet that I give you guys. You get this cheat sheet so you can, look, these are approximate numbers. They're not gold, but it gives you at least a starting point if you're trying to figure out how much a fix and flip and or renovation would cost you. A lot of you have that question. How do I know if the contractor is off or overbidding me? Well, in the 5-day property challenge, I tell you to get 3 different bids. And I also tell you to use the project costing guide where you're able to match up what they're saying according to the project costing guide. Now, this is a nationwide, so of course, it may be a little bit more and or a little bit less in your area, but at least you have something to start with. How many of you would love the project costing guide? Put me in the chat. I would love that, Coach T. And then also, whenever we get to day 4, I want to teach you guys how to find deals fast. You can't beat us. You can't beat Circle of Investors and investors who underwrite every single day. We teach you how to do reps. We call our reps, which is repetition. We underwrite deals over and over and over and over again. We have tools like PropStream that give us access to owners' information before you even know who they are. You just thought all this happened by coincidence? No, there's strategy here. So then you got day 5. If I'm cooking, put cooking in the chat. I just want to make sure y'all still in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? While this food is being cooked. Okay. I'm making y'all some gumbo right now. Welcome to Louisiana. Okay. We cooking. By the end of day 4, you'll have a clear deal finding plan to keep your pipeline full. That's what you're going to have. So you get PropStream for 7 days. Plus a $50 credit. This is only for titanium ticket holders. Okay, we have 4 different ticket levels. We have titanium, platinum, VIP, and general admission. But for titanium, this is where you get the most access. This is where you get the most tools. This is where you get the most resources. So then you're like, okay, so then we go into day 5, building your system and your team. Now, I have built a pretty successful real estate team. Okay, and I've been doing this for quite some time now. But you'll be able to build out your team blueprint, who you need on your team, and what systems will you need. You will be able to operate like the CEO of your business in your season, with your time, with your opportunities. There's not a one size fit all. This is I'm going to find what fits me and wear it. Does that make sense? So what was the very first thing I said you have to do? The very first thing I said at the beginning of this call was that you will have to make a decision. And I said, I'm only going to be able to take a few of y'all with me. And I also said that some of you, I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. I know what that means all too well, especially when I have to come and teach this class. So then I want for you to stop wishing and start owning. So some of you may be here, unsure of where to start or what to buy. I need my own money to invest. You probably started there. Scattered strategies, right? Not sure how to spot a deal. Doing everything alone with no process. Afterwards, you have an investor mindset and a clear business foundation, confidence using OPM and underwriting deals, proven formulas to analyze deals quickly, a repeatable plan to find deals fast, systems, and a team roadmap to be able to scale. Now, how many of you would say, Coach T, I need this? It does not matter if you are in Africa. You could be in Germany. Apply this wherever you are. Because real estate, no matter if it's in Hong Kong or Africa, it is a numbers game. And the numbers have to work for you to make the investment, and or it does not work. The last time I checked, the numbers in Africa are the same numbers we use here. And I'm not talking about valuations. I'm talking about formulas. What type of return do you want on your money? Do that make sense? Perfect. So, what does it mean? Titanium. Can I talk to you guys about the titanium ticket? Put yes in the chat. If I can talk to you guys tonight about the titanium ticket, put yes in the chat, because there's some of you who's committed and I want to make sure I get to you guys tonight, okay? And for those of you who's getting titanium tonight, I want you to be able to come up on the screen tonight, and I want to know what made you make your decision. Like, I want to know who you are. So when I see you at all my events, I know exactly who you are and what made you make that decision. Is that fair? Put yes in the chat. For titanium ticket holders tonight that are buying tonight, I want to bring you on the screen and I want to have a conversation with you. I don't do this ever, but I will tonight. Okay? So, titanium ticket access only. Somebody put titanium in the chat. This, to me, is the only way to go, because what I'm about to tell you guys is insane, right? I give away some really insane things only because I've been blessed with a lot, and I know what it's like to start at the bottom and have no resources and nobody to help. So I kind of overcompensate when I do things. So if I throw an event, it's going to be a big event. If I'm doing, like, I'm giving away a house, it's going to, like, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,200 square feet, possibly. That's insane, right? And it already have a tenant in it paying $750 a month, I believe. So you win a property. You don't have to fix it up right away, but it will need renovations. I'll put you in touch with my bank, and we'll talk more about that as well. But wow. So titanium is the highest level ticket that we have, okay? And so titanium access only is 5 days of virtual training with me and my team. Somebody put 5 days in the chat. You also get the bonus training with all of my special guests. So we'll do some surprise calls for you guys with some of my friends that's going to come in and make sure you guys are moving along well. You also get access to my private challenge only community. So you can start networking right away, because if I can do one thing over, I would find partners a lot faster than what I did. Right? You also get access to the workbook that I was telling you guys about. You get a special titanium background. You also get a private Telegram group. How many of you heard of Telegram? Put me in the chat. The Telegram group is a group that I'm in with other titanium members, and you guys are in there having conversations with each other and getting a head start on networking and also possibly meeting your next business partner. You see, this room is very important, and that's why this is one of the highest tickets that we have. It's because when you get in this room, there's no pretending. You are there with other people who have invested just like you, and they are there to make a decision. The next thing is closed door virtual networking night on Zoom. You also get to ask me Q&A, right? You get to also ask me Q&A questions, which is really cool, before the challenge start, okay? But listen to this. As a titanium ticket holder, How many of you would love to go to a private dinner with me and other Titanium members and my team? Just put me in the chat. Somebody say, now that's the room I need to be in. If I can tell you guys one thing real quick, how powerful rooms are. Me and my business partner was in a room, and it's a 6-figure mastermind that we pay for, all right? I never tell nobody to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. Even coaches have coaches, right? And so I'm sitting in this room, and this man is talking about how he got to pay. It's like an insane amount, maybe $25 million, or he got to come up with $25 million or something like. It's an insane number by the end of the month. And I remember looking at Derek, and I remember saying, shoot, he about to lose everything. Because I'd never been in a room like that before. Y'all, in less than 10 minutes, that room chopped up the problem like it was nothing. They had one person to say, well, look, we're going to put you in touch with such and such so they can give you a bridge loan. And then somebody else said, while you applying for the bridge loan, we're going to see if we can get you SBA funding. And then somebody else mentioned another lender who had a special going on that they was going to put them in contact with. And because somebody say access, you see, this is where you leverage your relationship in rooms like this. My experience, my relationships that I have with others now become accessible to you because you have paid to be in the room where the success is happening at. I couldn't believe they solved the problem like that. It blew my mind. It was mind-boggling how they did that. And I sat in that room and I looked at Derek. I said, this right here was worth the 6 figures we paid to sit in this chair. If I leave with nothing else, I'm leaving knowing that I think too small. And I got to be in a room with people that think bigger than me. But can I give you some bonuses to this titanium ticket only? Put yes in the chat. Bonus number 1. You get a titanium conference ticket to my live event in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay? A live event, PC Live. That is going to be July 30th through August 2nd. You also get to participate in our house giveaway. That's the house I've been talking about that I'm giving away this year. We just went under contract. If everything go good during due diligence, it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, approximately 1,200 square feet. When I tell you this is the Super Bowl of real estate conferences, okay? It is, we are packed in there every single year. Every single year. And we're doing it even bigger this year. We have what's called the Investor Arena. That means in order to enter the arena at PC Live, you got to either have a deal that you're looking for funding for, you got to have capital that you're looking for a deal for, and or you have to know how to underwrite. That's why the 5 days are important, because when you enter that investor arena and you start networking, it is intentional masterminding at this point. Intentional. It ain't just put people in a room and y'all do those fake, hey, how you doing? Let's catch up later. No. What deal do you have? Somebody put in the chat, what problem can I solve? That's what I'm going in there with. If people need deals in that arena, I got a deal. If they need capital, heck, I got capital. Some people don't want to do the legwork. They just want to be passive. You also get my 50-state tax sale playbook. You get investor swag at PC Live 2026, and you also get a developer's board game, the game that I created myself. I don't know if you can see it on screen or not, but yeah, my board game, right? So titanium access, wouldn't you agree that this is a lot for one ticket? Is this a lot? Let me know in the chat, is this a lot? Like, do you find this valuable? Like, is this valuable for you? So I want to just recap that, right? So a complimentary titanium ticket to PC Live 2026, July 31st through August 1st, or August 2nd. Which one is it? The 1st? Yes. It's the 1st. Wow. This is an in-person event, and it includes the house giveaway. Let's keep going. So 2 powerful events for the price of one. So the 5-day property challenge starts June 8th through the 12th. It's virtual. That's your challenge. And then I'm going to see you after the challenge, July 31st to August 1st at our conference. But what if I want to do one more thing for you guys? Can I add one more thing? One more thing. How many of you say, I need to be in person? Like, I learn better in person, Coach T. Like, can you curate a space where it's not that many people and we can do some reps? And do you mind if I fact check you and go look at one of your properties? Is that you? Just put me in the chat right now. Right? You want to go see what I'm talking about. Because so many people talk about it, but Coach T, I want to go see it. I'm hands-on. I need to be in a room with you. So this is what I want to do. For titanium ticket holders, I want you to come visit me June 1st. I want you to come visit me June 1st. It's a private in-person invitation with me and my team. We're going to do property tours, see properties in person, underwrite deals, have lunch together. All titanium purchasers will be invited to my private mastermind, June 21st. Somebody put get in the room. This is where access becomes real. I have to get in the room. So, titanium is really beefy. It has the most access, everything in platinum, which I'm going to go over, the PC Live 2026 ticket, the in-person property tour with me and my team, the house giveaway, and a private mastermind with me and my friends at PC Live. When you come to Atlanta, you get another mastermind. So 3 events for the price of one. 3 events for the price of one. So let's recap all of this real quick. Look at it. Take it in. Where's my titanium people at? Just put me in the chat. Just say titanium me now. Okay, I want to be titanium now, period. All of this access, all of these tools, all of these resources, this is what it looks like when you're committed, because this is the type of stuff you get when you're committed. I make sure that we do what we say we're going to do. That's how I run my business. So before I share the ticket price with you guys, right, ask yourself this question. How much is this opportunity worth for you? Direct access. After knowing what I've charged already in the past, just knowing who I am, just even looking me up and understanding the type of mentorship coaching you would be a part of, right? My team that you would have access to. Right? What is that worth to you? Put it in the chat right now. How much is that worth to you? Is it a specific amount that you're willing to pay for yourself? For to have the support from me and my team? For those of you who say priceless, I appreciate you guys, because I definitely would agree with you. There's no amount I would not pay to get me to where I need to be. Especially if I can stand on the shoulders of someone who's already been there. So this has to work, or it has to work. So you get all of that access, all of it, for $9.97. Drop in the chat right now, titanium me. $9.97. Now, the truth of the matter is I could have charged y'all thousands and thousands of dollars. And for my Circle of Investor program, I do. I will not work for you for 6 months or a year for free. I would never do that. But that's not even open, right? That is closed to the public right now. We're enjoying our cycle 9. But a seat at the table. 5 days of virtual training. 5 days, intensive days. Also, the access you get at PC Live. The type of access you get is insane. The seating that you have is right by our circle of investors. This, to me, is what I wish somebody would have given me. So when I created this, I created it with what would I have needed to be where I'm at today? Because I had to go through a lot of bumps and run. I had to go through a lot to be able to do that. Right? So for only $9.97, this is pretty much free. This is an investment into your education. And so when I look at this and I say, okay, wow, T, you're really, really, like, you're really adding value. Like, there's so much going on right now in this deal that people are like, I can't believe all of this is included. It is. So my team is dropping a link right now for you guys to be able to go sign up. All you got to do is join the 5-day property challenge. Okay, go get your titanium ticket right now. Comment, I'm joining right now in the chat if you are getting in right now. Like, if you're working on it right now, put I'm joining or working on it right now in the chat. I'm working on it. I know I need to be in that room. Coach T may not even be my business partner. She may not be the one I'm looking for, but there's somebody in the room that's going to partner with me. There's somebody in the room that needs an opportunity. Wouldn't you agree if you have an opportunity, you can find capital? All you got to do is just find an opportunity. So for those of you who saying, I'm joining right now, Coach T, I'm coming, I'm getting in, just put me in the chat. Don't lie. Just put me in the chat, because right now, this is an honor system. I'm only going to take you at your word. My team will audit before I bring you on the camera, but I want to know that you're serious about taking action tonight. I want to know that you went from being interested to an investor tonight. The first investment you're making tonight is in your education. And I gotta teach you for 5 days straight all of the formulas, the playbook, the roadmap. I got to be able to help you with all of that. So what's cool about this is you never know who's going to enter the room, right? And so we've had some amazing speakers that have come through the Property Challenge doors. And some of you may know these people. Marcus Lemonis was one of my favorite guests. He came with a wealth of knowledge. And look, I was taking notes just with everybody else because it was so amazing. Right? You had Floyd Mayweather that came through the doors. You had Rick Ross that came through the doors, Tiffany Montgomery. And a lot of these people you see on here, I have helped become real estate investors. Some of these people on here are my business partners. I've helped people like Darius Daniels. I've helped people. He's part of my business. He's one of my business partners. D1, he's one of my business partners. B. Simone, she's one of my business partners. Tiffany Montgomery, she's one of my business partners. Nehemiah Davis, he's one of my business partners. David Shantz, he's one of my business partners. I have some very powerful business partners. I have a ton of celebrities within our portfolio. This is how powerful this room is. Some say I'm the influencer coach. Nah, I'm for the kingdom, baby. I've been blood bought, period. Okay? So, but I do help a lot of people behind the scenes. And you don't see me on the internet bragging and posting all these stories and all these cars and these houses, because I don't believe that that's the wealth. I don't believe that that's your story. I don't believe that it's one size fit all. I believe that everybody got their own season and everybody got their own shoe and everybody got their own part that they got to walk through. So I show you these speakers and these investors not to sell you on a celebrity coming into the room. Y'all shouldn't care if a celebrity show up or not. You there for information, right? Like, yeah, I get there's some really cool people out there doing big things, but how can it change my life today? How can it change my life today, right? So again, today for $9.97, you get to invest into the titanium ticket and have a seat at the table. And then I'm also going to bring a few of you guys up because I just want to know what made you say, hey, I want to make this decision. I want to take the next step. I want to go all in. I want to be that investor that after the 5-day property challenge, I am ready to walk this out. If that's you, put me in the chat. This is the last year that you will not be able to afford $8,000. This is the last year that you will not be able to afford $997. But can I tell you something? I know everybody don't have $997. I'm not naive. That's why there's other ticket tiers. How many of you would say, I don't have 997? Just put me in the chat. I don't have 997. This is the problem. This is what we face as launchers. You do all of this stuff. You go to work and you do all of this laboring and you have no investment money. This should make you feel like you never want to feel like this again. Let this be the room where I tell you it is not okay. It is not okay to not have 997 in your bank account. Let me give you the first coaching move. Let me give you your first coaching move. Let this be the last year that I don't have 997. Coach T, I've been doing it wrong a while. And I never had nobody tell me to my face that I've been a bad steward of my finances. But I will get control of it this year. I will make it right. I will make it right. So for those of you who saying, I am titanium, I'm getting in now, put me in the chat. I will overcome this. I want you guys to know this, okay? This is not a life sentence because you're not where you need to be financially. This is a season. Stop treating it as if it's a life sentence. This is a season. Stop treating it as if it's a life sentence. You keep on living as if you are in a prison and serving a life sentence. But the season ends now. The season ends now. So for those of you, and like I said, I know everybody cannot do 997. Okay. But remember, I said there's 4 ticket tiers. Of course, titanium is going to be the most access and the best deal, period. If you're like me, I love a good deal. Okay. You give me a good deal anytime, any day. Right? But I may not be where I can do that part. You need to be in a room. For those of you who said, I don't have $97, can you just agree you need to be in a room? You need to change your life ASAP. Okay? Somebody, you got to. Like, I was trying to keep it in, but I can't. You got to. You got to get out of that hell you in, because I imagine it got to be hell when you don't have the resources like that. It was hell for me when I didn't have it. It was a storm every single day when I didn't have it. It was a hustle every single day I didn't have it. It was a grind every single day I didn't have it. So we have platinum. And platinum, what I love about platinum is you're one step away from upgrading to titanium. So maybe you can afford platinum today, and maybe in 2 to 3 weeks you can upgrade to titanium before the challenge, before the meetup. Let this be the last year anybody have control to fire you. Period. And so platinum includes everything that's in VIP. You get to participate in the daily Q&A sessions on Zoom. You get access to the Platinum Telegram chat, and you also get the virtual networking night. So what is missing out of Platinum that's in Titanium? Well, you're missing out on the board game. You're missing out on the in-person meetup with me here in Louisiana. You're missing out on the mastermind at PC Live. You're missing out on access. So then some of you, VIP, right? VIP is where you get your workbook. General admission do not get the workbook. VIP is where you get the workbook, and Platinum get the workbook, and Titanium get the workbook. The workbook is important because of the simple fact, if you are hands-on and you like to follow along, you will need a workbook to keep up with us. It is a lot of information in those 5 days. Okay, if you're working on it right now, you see what ticket tier can you afford right now to invest in yourself. Put it in the chat right now. So going VIP to me would be the last option because of the simple fact that I know I need the workbook. I need to be able to follow along. I would love to be able to hear the questions, even though I can't ask no questions. But VIP is where I have to be. Platinum is where I can do today and I can step up in a few weeks. And titanium is I can do it now. And then you have general admission. And general admission, it's just simply saying, hey, I am going to be at the challenge and I'll be able to listen. And maybe by the grace of God, I'll be able to upgrade to something higher than general admission. But general admission does not come with the workbook. Now, can I give you something in all tiers? Put yes in the chat if I can give you something in all the tiers. General, VIP, platinum, and titanium. Can I give you something? Every ticket tier that you purchase includes you being entered to win the property. The only thing less than this is free, and you don't pay attention to what you don't pay for. So general admission, you're entered to win a house. VIP, you're entered to win a house. Platinum, you're entered to win a house. Titanium, you're entered to win a house. Some of you just say, look, that house got my name on it. That house got my name on it, Coach T. I come into agreement with it. One year, we went through 7 names. Talk about not being in the room. That's why being in the right room is important. Being in the right room is important. And for some of you, I would tell you this, right? You may need like assistance, right? Maybe you need like financing. Maybe you need a flex play plan, right? How many of you would say, look, I would need assistance for now and I can get back on my feet, in a few weeks. Like if that's you, put me in the chat. I like when you claim and say that house got your name on it. You're right, it do, right? So we have flexible payment plans through Afterpay and Klarna. But what I would tell you guys is this. Don't go put yourself in unnecessary debt that you cannot pay back. I don't want to be a part of your bad debt decisions. Make this investment because you're going to do something with the information you learn it in the 5 days and you owe it to yourself for it to be the last year that you are in this situation. Make it count. Make it count. So there's flexible payment plans available. And my team is dropping the link for you guys so you can click on it and you can go there. But don't do this if you're not going to do it seriously. Don't do this if you're still interested and not committed. Don't do that. Because you would make it no better. All of this is based off of your willingness to put in and also based off of your areas and it's what you apply. It's what you're going to get out of it. And you can go right now while we're on this call to go get your ticket. Because I want to call a few people up. I want to be able to call a few people up who made a decision, who said, you know what, Coach T, I am all in. All of this, let me explain something to you guys. All of this right now, what you're listening to and what you're going through right now is spiritual warfare. It's the old you fighting with the new you. It's the old you saying, I can't unhear what I've heard. That's what it is. The new you is saying, I got to do something with this information. The truth is, you can get off of this Zoom right now and get started, just like I told you guys, with the mobile home play. And start there. But don't overwhelm yourself and get confused and stop. If you take nothing else from this webinar tonight, take that you have to invest. You have to buy income. Let me finish this. This is a statement that I say to myself. I am a first-generation millionaire and generational curse breaker. I wear this badge with pride, knowing I am creating a legacy of abundance. I embrace my journey, trusting that blessings are on their way, even when I can't see them yet. I am worthy of success and abundance. I am worthy of success and abundance. I am worthy of success and abundance. I move forward in faith, believing my time is now. Put my time is now in the chat. When is your time? Not tomorrow. Now. My time is now. I don't care if I'm at work. My time is now. I don't care what it looks like. My time is now. My faith is going to be my reward. My faith is going to be my financial breakthrough. My faith is going to be my financial blessing because my time is now. I have no more time to waste thinking that with these hands I have physically that I'm going to be able to outwork myself. It will not happen. It will not happen. Come into agreement with I am worthy of success and abundance. I am worthy of success and abundance. So knowing that, knowing I am worthy of success and abundance, right? So a lot of you, this is for my overthinkers, right? You still man, I have some questions, right? So what I want to do with you guys tonight, and I know, look, we're going long, but I really want you guys to understand what's taking place right now. Right? There's some of you, you're like, should I join? That's the question you're torn with right now. But I would say this, if you are committed to real estate investing, you should join. If real estate is your next step, it's the thing that makes the most sense, then you should join. You have to stop second guessing yourself because you second guess yourself out of opportunities, right? You want to learn, but you need a strategy and you need a blueprint. That's why you should join, right? You're looking for guidance and you're looking for clarity. You're looking for the next actionable steps. That's why you should join, right? Some of us are very decisive and some of you are not, right? Some of you may be thinking, but I'm still a beginner, Coach T. I need more money, or I just need more information, or I'm not ready, right? All of these questions. What if I still have a lot of questions? Well, as Titanium, you can ask questions, right? As Titanium, you can ask questions. And my circle of investors, they respond to questions as well, because guess what? They've been trained. But this is your invitation to stop researching all of this alone. This is your invitation. It's your invitation to start building out your plan. So this class should have done one of two things. Right? It should have taken you from being interested to committed, or it just revealed to you how bad you need to be in a room. You don't have to have everything figured out before joining. All your questions, I promise you, will not be answered before you join. This challenge is built to make things make sense for you. So again, clear path, roadmap, strategy. Right? So what is this? What is the 5-day property challenge? And why did I create it? Well, it's simple. I created the 5-day challenge because I believe if you give somebody enough education with a short period of time and a short goal, in 5 days, you're going to be able to learn and do this. You're going to execute a lot faster than I say, hey, come learn this in 2 years. You may be, this is a lot, right? But 5 days of compressed knowledge, 5 days of boom, 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 boom. 5 days of your workbook, your fingers gonna hurt, but I promise you it will be worth it. 5 days, okay? So, frequently asked questions. And guys, I just wanna say tonight, I'm doing this for you guys because I have to. Okay? But you have to do something too. Somebody say my part. Somebody say my part. I have to do my part. I only can bring you to the water, but I cannot make you drink it. I also add this. You've heard this before. You can bring a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. The truth of the matter is you can bring a horse to the water, but if they're not thirsty, they're not going to drink it. I need thirsty people. Okay. So frequently asked questions, right? What are they, right? So what if I'm just a beginner? Yes, the 5-day property challenge starts with beginners. It helps you build the solid blueprint. It helps you create your lane. It helps you figure out what it is you want to get started with investing in first. So if you're just a beginner, that's what it helps you with. What if I already have deals under my belt, right? How many of you have deals under your belt, but you're looking to scale? Put me in the chat. Right? You're looking to be able to get more deals. You're here because you want to be able to scale more. You're probably a builder or a titan and you need more opportunities. Or maybe you just need to meet me and bring me a deal. And now we're partners. Hey, I take deals. Look, I'm like, look, they be like, you take change for rental payments. And I do. I surely do. I take nickels, dimes, quarters, pennies. I take it all. Okay. I take online pay. I take credit cards. I take it all. Okay. You need tap. I got tap. Okay. You ever been into one of those stores with them people, them foreigners, they be like, tap here, pay here. Yeah. I got all options for my residents for sure. I don't turn my nose up at change. In fact, they're not even making pennies no more. So of course I'm going to collect those. What type of investing will I learn? Well, I love that question because you may need multifamily. Okay. Some of you may need fix and flips. Some of you may need buy and holds. Some of you may be wholesalers. You're going to learn an array of different type of real estate investing. Some of you just need partnerships. Some of you may need to know how to set up a partnership and or structure. Some of you just may to get your entity going, right? Some of you just may need all of this. Again, we touch on different topics. Now, of course, in 5 days, we can't teach you the whole entire real estate industry, but we can teach you the meat and potatoes of where most people start. So then what if I can't make it to all the lives? Well, that's okay. Some of you say I can't make it. Okay. Well, guess what? We have the recording and it'll be up for a specific amount of time and you'll have time to be able to go back and watch the replays. If you got to work, go back and watch the replays. But I want you to do me a favor. When June 8th through the 12th come and you know that the 5-day property challenge is here, I need for you to tell people, hey, I have a date with Coach T. Do not knock on my door. If you got children, feed them early, put them to bed and tell them do not disturb you unless it's an emergency. Because again, you got to take this serious. These are your 5 days to be selfish. It's your 5 days to be selfish. Okay. So is this the same as the Circle of Investors? No, it is not. The Circle of Investors is one of my programs that is not open currently. And it's a program where I spend 6 months with investors and they learn. It's a ton. They'll tell you themselves, some in the room. The 5 days have nothing on this, right? But there's only so much you can consume without being overwhelmed. So we give it to you in bites that we know you can eat it at. So no, the Circle of Investors is not open. It will not be open no time soon, to be honest with you. So next question, do you guarantee results? No, I do not guarantee any results. I am not about to sit here and lie to y'all. You're going to have to put in your work and you're going to have to get busy. Okay? You will have to get busy because what happens is some of you just looking for quick paydays and get rich overnight. And this is not it. It's not in this room, buddy. It's not here. You're going to have to go find somewhere else because this is not it. This is a room where we build and lay it out together. That's what this room is. The guarantee, only you can do that part. Only you can guarantee your success. If you believe that you're going to get guaranteed results, put me in the chat. Only you can guarantee what you're going to do. I can guarantee you I'm going to show up them 5 days and I'm going to teach you guys what you need to learn. That's what I can guarantee. Now, what you do with the information is on you. But you got to be willing to do something with the information. So right now, some of you are still working on your tickets. How many of you are still working on your tickets right now? Put me in the chat. I'm still working on it, Coach T. I don't ever want anybody to think that there's any guarantees in this industry. You can lose money, you can make money. But I can tell you, I make way more than I've lost. I don't want to be prideful when I say that. I just do my best to make sure I'm doing it the right way. So, whenever you look at all of those questions and you say, Coach T, like, thank you for the Q&A. But now I want to know why other people made the decision. You know what? I want to know too. So what I want to do is I want to bring up a few people, right, that purchased titanium tonight. And then I want to be able to meet them. Like, let me meet some of the people. Like, I want to know that they real. Okay, y'all want to know if I'm real. I want to know if y'all real too. Heck, make sure y'all ain't no AI bot sitting before me. Like, what is this? This person is not here. They got a pretty cool game room, though. Or is that a movie theater they're working at? I don't know. Christina Braxton, are you here? Let's go to someone else. Let's look. Don't miss an opportunity. Come on. Come on, Christina. You did that fast action. Where you at, baby? All right, let's go to the next one. Gabrielle Williams. Let's make sure your cameras are turned on too, okay? I want to talk to some action takers. I want to talk to the ones who understand success, love, speed. Hey, Miss Gabrielle, how are you, baby? Oh, I can't hear you. 1 second. Go ahead, Miss Gabrielle. Yes. Terica. Mm. 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 Oh, drop some fire in the chat right now. Let's cut the feedback.